Today, UNICEF presented the results of the Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey, MICS. It is a survey conducted in partnership with the Statistical Institute of Belize. It is done every 5 years to collect information from around 5,200 households on the well-being of women and children, and by extension, families. The areas covered in the survey include health, education, and violence.
The reason why, as our motto suggests, we're collecting this evidence to improve the well-being in order for us to be able to design effective policies that will then address any of the issues that we identify through this survey. So specifically today, we are going together with our partners in the country, government and civil society, media, etc. We're going and exploring the data module by module in the different domains, together with experts who are helping us analyze the trends, because as I said, we conducted the same survey 5 years ago, and to look at some of the changes that have happened in society over time and to help us identify why these changes have taken place and what we can attribute, especially the good results to, either to policy, to some of the activities that we as UNICEF or the country, all the stakeholders together have undertaken in order to improve the well-being. And where we've noticed some perhaps negative results, we are trying to identify what is the reason and then what is it that we can do better in the next 5-year cycle.
UNICEF says that comparing the previous survey to this one, there are several gains made. A few areas where there is improvement is early childhood education, as well as HIV knowledge and practices.
Well, there's a number of improvements, and I think across the board we're looking at improvements in the general well-being. Now, when you look at the individual domains, you notice, for example, one of the things that we measure through this survey is attendance in early childhood education. We've noticed that that has gone up, and we're very proud because I think a lot of our efforts and a lot of the efforts of the country has invested a lot in this, and we're hoping to see even a greater increase. We went from about 30-something% attendance to about 50% now attendance in early childhood education, which is excellent because providing children with a good start in life is what we're all looking forward to. We're also looking at improvements in knowledge and practices regarding HIV, sexual behavior. We're also looking at improvements in the area of violence, albeit a small one, because we are still seeing from the survey a very high levels of violence against children, physical, psychological, etc., which means that we have to commit more resources, more financial but also human resources to addressing the issue of violence, raising awareness about the consequences of violence, what are the risks for children who are exposed to violence and the families where violence occurs, and what are the long-term consequences for society as a whole as well.
And to double up on the grounds gained in the past 5 years, UNICEF is taking a different approach in the findings and recommendations from the results of this latest survey.
This time we're adopting a very different approach. The reason why we're gathered today here together with our partners is because we do not want to simply disseminate this information and essentially provide it to the partners or provide it to people and then just for the purpose of information. So this goes beyond that. It's more than information. It's also about what is it that we can practically do in terms of policies, in terms of actions, in terms of commitments. We're making a commitment as an organization to work to improve the status of children and women in Belize. What are some of the practical solutions to some of the real problems that people are feeling? So whatever comes out of this conference, and we already, we've been in that room now for a few hours, a lot of very good recommendations have already been generated, and we hope then to turn these recommendations into policy and into programs. We have just prepared our next 5-year program with broad outcomes and goals. What this event is helping us do is essentially turn those outcomes and goals into concrete actions. And we translate those actions, we turn those outputs into actions by signing specific programs with line ministries, with civil society organizations, and they help us implement actions directly with children.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.